Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and today we are checking out some of Bad Habits designs. Well, we actually have a couple of his customs, and then we're going to show off the production version of his custom. The pre-order is available right now. Everything will be linked down in the description. And yeah, let's get into it. So first off, this is a little custom. This will be coming in the future, but this one is not the one that's in production at the moment. This is the pork belly. Cool name, really cool little knife, very, very well done custom. I gotta say, the guy does incredible work. So let's talk about it. So this is the custom of this production version right here. Now the production version will be available or will be shipping out mid to late May, and will be running between $275 and $285. Not too bad of a price. $125 for the Damascus kit for the pivot collar, backspacer, and clip. Now, I do want to, at the end of this, I want to kind of compare the custom to the production just really, really fast to kind of give you an idea. And this goes for a lot of custom knives and kind of like what you can expect from a custom compared to a production. Now, talking about the production knife, the one that you guys can pre-order right now, it is very, very well done. And the OEM is HB Plus. Now, I don't think I've probably tested some of their knives that they've OEM'd before, but not when I knew that it was them, so I'm not positive. But right here, I have an example of HB Plus knives, and they do have a bunch of knives that they do also do OEM for that I recently found out that I didn't know before. Now, let's talk about this. So we have an S30V or S35V, and I forget which one, but it's one of the two. And then, which I prefer S30V over S35, but and that's what the custom is. So maybe that's what it is, but it might be S35. Now we have a beautiful satin finish on this drop point Americanized Tonto. So the tip is going to be pretty easy to get to for the primary, and then the secondary tip is extremely acute. So really, really well done there. Then we have a titanium frame lock, titanium hardware, titanium pivot collar, titanium clip, and backspacer. The ergonomics are very good. Really, really good. Even with the clip, like I personally don't even really feel the clip, and if I do, it's just a awareness. You can choke up, you can spin it around, you can do the pinch grips. Let's talk about the action. So we have thumb stud action, and this has a stout detent. So if I was going to say between 1 and 10, 10 being the strongest, 1 being the lightest, 5 being perfect, not too strong, not too light, this would be probably a 7. It's near the stronger side, not unbearable, not too strong, but it is a stout detent, which I like. I like stout detents. Some people prefer them a little bit lighter, some people prefer them a little bit stronger. I tend to lean towards a little bit more stout, and this one definitely is. Now you have great access to the thumb studs, and thumb studs have great traction. And yeah, it snaps out there really, really good. It is on bearings. I think it's ceramic cage bearings. I know the custom is stainless steel bearings. But anyways, good access to the lock bar, nice comfortable disengagement. Steel lock bar insert, T8 hardware all the way around. And yes, the lock bar access is very, very well done. Very easy to disengage, and it is very smooth on the drop. So, all in all, solid knife, very well done. And you know, it has a lot of milling on the inside to bring down the weight. The weight feels really good. I do have some nitpicks we're gonna go over here in 1 second, but I do want to go over a couple more things really quick that I really like. I love the satin finish. I think it's very well done. I personally like the logo. I think it looks great. The sharpen control and plunge grind is pretty well done. It's not horrible. Plunge grind starts here, ends here, so you have some life to sharpen off. Now this is a flat grind, and it does have a little bit more robust side geometry, but it's not like super thick or anything like that. So it's not bad. It's just, you know, it's on the stouter side, but it's still plenty slicey, and the ergos match the blade geometry, so you're going to be able to use this very, very well. Now, some nitpicks. One is that the lock bar cutout is on the outside. Now, I wouldn't mind that if the clip wasn't placed the way it is, but what happens is getting it in and out of the pocket, the tension is pushing your jeans down into this corner, and it's a sharp corner. So what I would recommend is chamfering this corner so that it is not so sharp, you know, knocking it down so that it can come out of the pocket easier, because this really catches. It's not a great pocket clip design. The pocket clip's fine. Like I said, it's just where it lands. It lands right on this corner, and it creates problems in and out of the pocket. Now, as far as comparing the custom to the production, in most cases, a custom knife is going to be a little bit more rough around the edges than a production. The grinds will be more even, the fit, the finish, and things like that. In many cases, they're not necessarily tighter or anything like that. It's just the little details. Like the jimping is going to be, you know, you can kind of tell it's done by hand. The grind, you know, it might be a little bit uneven and not perfection from one side to the other. And I'm speaking in general against all customs against production knives. And the reason why is because these are done by usually, in many cases, one man doing everything, doing the blade, doing the handle, doing it all, and they're doing it by hand. Now, even if he has a team, it's still, you know, that small team working on these things. With this, these are done by machinists, and each individual thing is done on a different machine to perfection and then put together. And the machines are just more expensive, better, not necessarily better quality, but they're more robotic, not as hand done, you know, not as much handwork is in there. So while attention to detail is a little bit better on customs, the fit, the finish, the finishing work, and all those things are a little bit more refined on a production knife. Now, what you're paying for with a custom, like this one being $900, is the fact that a man did it. One man did it. One in the USA. New Jersey is where his shop is at. But other than that, like it's a guy's attention to detail, somebody who you know, had blood, sweat, and tears invested into it, and spent hours upon hours perfecting and getting to this level of craftsmanship, but then also making it for you. Now, the difference between the custom and the production in this case, this is a hollow grind. That is one way to distinguish the custom from the production. So the production will be a flat grind. The custom is a hollow, nicely ground too, very nicely ground. The next thing is the thumb studs I prefer the thumb studs on the custom, to be honest, but they're both well done. They're both good thumb studs, but you can see there's a difference between the thumb studs. Next is the clip. The clip is a big, huge difference. Now, I complained about the clip on this one, but this one's even worse, to be honest. And the reason why is because it has a little bit more tension. This one has a little bit more spring, so this one has more tension pushing you down onto that corner. So again, taking this in and out of the pocket, it does not work well. It almost tore my pants because my pants get stuck. I kind of got thicker jeans, so it kind of gets stuck. So I would prefer the clip to go farther up and just pass this, or this be on the inside. However, it's not that big of a deal, and it would still work, and there's ways to modify and fix that. And to me, I would just knock this corner down. But anyways, what is it? Next thing, there's machining on the inside of this, so this is a lot more lightweight. This is solid flat titanium scales, so it's a little bit more weighty, but it has a softness to it that this one doesn't have, and it's just because this was finished by hand. So you can tell, like, these edges are they're very well done. Somebody touched it and put their hands on it and really cared about how it feels. And this one, still very, very comfortable, very, very comfortable. So I'm not trying to take that away. I'm just saying you can tell, if after holding so many knives, you can tell the difference between one that's been done by hand and one that is production. So one other little detail is that this one, the machine ground one, or the production one, is V-ground. So the edge is a V-grind edge. So either one, this was done on a wheel or a very tight sharpening belt. This one was done on a more loose belt. So it's done on a belt and it is convexed. So the difference between a convexed and a V-grind, let's talk about it. So a convexed is exactly how it sounds. It's like this. So instead of a V-grind, a V-ground edge, which is just two flat lines leading to an apex, convexed is rounded. So what is the difference? So a convexed, while being a little bit thicker behind the apex, so from here to here behind the apex, it's a little bit tougher. So Convex is going to be a little bit of a tougher edge, while a Vgrind is probably going to be slightly slicier. Now there is the detail that a Convex doesn't really have the corner at the top of the edge bevel because it rounds right into the primary grind. But for the most part, because a Vgrind is slightly thinner behind the apex, it's slightly more sticky and sharper and things like that. But convex edge is amazing, and in many cases what I personally like is a blend of both worlds. A slightly convex edge, because then I get the toughness, the keenness, and yeah, anyways, not to get into the weeds about that, but I personally like both Vgrinds and Convex. My favorite is the balance between both worlds. But my favorite way to sharpen is definitely on stones, which usually leads to a Vgrind or a slightly convex or convex, because you can do it all. You know, if you're really talented, you can, because even me, I can freehand sharpen a convex grind, or I can freehand sharpen a Vgrind, either one. Anyways, I know it's difficult for a lot of custom makers right now, so we do see a lot of custom makers doing some production overseas, and I can't blame them. You know, I want them to get money as much as I want the next man. So, you know, I know we obviously always advocate for as much to be made in the USA as possible, but in some cases, it's money, right? It's money, and they need the money, and it's hard you can't live life without money. So, you know, being able to have that, maybe to invest more into your USA companies and things like that. You know, there's a lot to it that we don't talk about a lot, that a lot of these makers have to do. Now, lucky for this guy, he actually makes his knives right here in the USA, but we do have some production stuff coming from overseas, which yeah, that's what helps bring down the cost dramatically. But anyways, there you guys go. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.